The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh, got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heartthrob in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty.
Podcast coming to you April 2nd, 2024. It is Wrestlemania week, and can do Wrestlemania week and a preview without these two jabronis here. Of course, you got Rob the Genius. Rob lives on this show at this point now, because Rob was on this show last week. He did my retro podcast days before that. He'll be on the show less likely tomorrow as well too. Rob the Genius, what's up?
Hey, good to be here, man. Always.
And of course, my cousin, allegedly, Comrade Bennett, woke Duke, whatever his name is today. Unmute Mike, buddy, by the way, because you're muted because of you. Duke Bennett, of the host, of course, of the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast. What's up, brother?
Playtime is over. I am here to do it strictly for the culture. That's right.
Wait. What's the other intro you always do to take on the show?
What's that?
The other intro you do. You're Ric Flair.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is the man of the hour, the man of the power, too sweet to be sour. That's right, the Duke, host of the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast. And I am honored to be back here on the Earnestly Speaking podcast. That's right.
Well, we're here to preview WrestleMania 40, obviously, but before we do that, there was an interview this weekend we apparently saw. I know we all saw, but I saw clips of it of CM Punk with Ariel Helwani, right?
Yes,
that's right.
Was this his first time talking post AEW firing?
Yes,
I'm assuming.
Yes. I
got a clip of the interview. Punk talking about Collision. AEW Collision that came out that started last summer, and all that, and we'll dive into the Punk stuff. We'll get to WrestleMania preview. Here's the clip first off.
So ultimately, why did you come back?
I got a lot of friends there, and even though I thought the separate show and separating everybody without getting everybody in a room and squashing it was not going to work. Part of me was just like, well, he's not going to let me go. Like I'm either going to be sitting at home or I could try to do some good. And if I can get a crew of people on television and maybe do some fun shows, like that sounded fun to me, okay, preferably I would like to be out of here. And then I think everybody's happy. Because I don't do this because I need to. I do it because I want to, and it's supposed to be fun, especially at this level.
And could I ask, how much time did you have left on your deal? Like, was it something that you could have maybe dragged your feet and the clock was ticking, or was there a considerable amount of time?
Yeah, maybe I'm the stupid mark. Maybe I should have been like, oh, my arm's not healed. I'm just going to sit at home,
Was it almost done?
My deal? I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I had like a year left.
Could you tell though right away? I mean, you mentioned the Jack, conversation, but could you tell right away that nothing much had changed? That it was like, was there a moment there where you're like, you know what, this could work. This is nice. No.
I knew. I was like, it's never going to work. And you can't. That's not the way you facilitate things.
All right, that's CM Punk with Ariel Helwani. Discussing his final days at AEW, the Jack Perry situation that came to a head at London's All In. It's All In, right? It was All Out. Was it All Out, right?
All in.
All In. All Out is the other one. Okay, All In. The situation backstage before he got fired. Of course, Collision, the new show they started last summer on Saturdays, and all that. Obviously, very controversial exit from AEW. He's back at WWE now. Like I said, we'll discuss WrestleMania in a second, but this is CM Punk's first words since being fired from AEW. Rod, want to take this one first?
I did not know that. Well, I didn't know that he actually wanted out like that until I heard it, in the interview.
Do you believe him?
I think he believes him. That's the thing, right? So
Right.
I think he believes himself. So the old George Costanza quote is not a lie if you believe it. I think he believes everything he's saying. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Isaiah Thomas, right? Isaiah Thomas says a bunch of stuff, and some of it you're like, okay, that's absolutely correct, and then sometimes you're like, really, dude? But everything he says, he believes it. So he's not lying per se. He's saying things that he believes. It's just some of it you're just kind of like, okay, sure. Him saying now in hindsight that, oh, why do it wasn't going to work and blah blah blah. I don't know. I mean, because the thing is, well, he wanted to go back to WWE from the beginning, right? That was it. That's where he wanted to go. He went to AEW because he couldn't, couldn't come to terms or whatever. And then Tony offered him a bunch of money. That's why he went to AEW. So he always wanted to go to WWE.
Yeah, I felt that way.
Yeah. And he even said himself that, that before he ended up going to AEW, that he was talking to them and all of that. So, it wouldn't surprise me if at that point he was fed up and was ready to go. But I do think that I don't quite buy that the whole thing. Well, I knew this wasn't going to work and blah 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 blah. Because the impression I got, and look, I'm no mind reader, but the impression I got was that he was trying with Collision, at least from we saw on screen. Like he went out there mailing it in on TV. But something, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, probably after the first brawl out, he probably was ready to just get the hell out of there. But I don't think that he just the whole well, I knew this wasn't going to work. No, I do think he actually was trying to make Collision work, even if it was just until his contract ran out.
Right, where she said had another year on it, probably at least. According to him.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Duke, your thoughts on CM Punk's words?
Are you talking about the clip or the whole situation? Because I want to.
You want to take 5 minutes now? 5 minute rant now?
I'll take my 5 minutes now.
Absolutely. All right, Rob. Let's clear it off from now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
do you need theme music? Do you need theme music?
No, I think I'm good. I'm good. Brothers and sisters, you can expect other folks who are part of this panel. They're going to try to filibuster and things like that. So I'm going to get 5 minutes right now, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm going to say something so you can get the truth up front before other people try to cut me off. All right. So first of all, CM Punk was part of the Ariel Helwani show, and he admitted to just about everything that I had already said, right? We got inside information. We knew what was happening there. Some information was trickling out. Tony Khan said some things. We knew what happened, and Punk confirmed it. CM Punk stuck his nose where it didn't belong. We got to start with Jack Perry. We know for a fact that Jack Perry received the okay to do a spot in which he was going to end up getting slammed, or he's going to slam somebody on real glass.
Okay, right? See, that's not true. That's not true.
So there goes my 5 minutes. Got to restart.
Because you're lying,
EJ. No, the 5 minutes got to restart.
Aren't true.
The man didn't even give me a minute. He already cut me off.
Right?
You
said something that's not true.
No. Listen, Rob, you're gonna have to mute yourself if you can't behave, because I need 5 minutes.
Get in 5 minutes. Then you can respond to everything. Right?
Exactly.
In fact, you know what, Rob, make it helpful. Get a notepad so you can
line by line.
You'll need one. Yeah.
Mute yourself.
I gotta
take notes. You don't need to be interrupted me. So
I gotta take notes of all the bullshit.
Wait, you wearing a shirt and tie, buddy?
Listen, it's not just talking to y'all and interviewing other people. I actually got shoot work to do too, man. I'm a jack of all trades, baby. Saving the world, and I do it strictly for the culture. That's right. That's how we do, Listen, I got my double Windsor knot. I'm not playing games here, That's how we do. That's right. Anyway, Robert, do you have your notes? Because I'm about to go in. What you dippity do in your hair? I'm about to go in.
All right. Yeah.
You got Murray's in your hair. You trying to get sporting waves?
I mean, Rob, I loan you mine, but mine's sitting right here.
You were prepared. You knew.
Yeah,
you knew. Brothers and sisters, I'm about to give you the truth about this whole CM Punk, Jungle Jack Perry, Tony Khan, all of that. I'm about to give it to you as soon as Rob gets his act together.
All right, I got my notes. Go.
Okay, here we go. Now, it is a fact. Jack Perry was already given permission by Tony Khan to do a spot that included a rental car and something happening to the windshield, which somebody would end up being put through the windshield somehow, some way. That's a fact. It was approved. Done deal. Okay? It was supposed to happen, that collision. According to Punk, Tony Schiavone went up to Punk and said, hey, the doctor doesn't want Jack to do the spot. I don't want him to do the spot. He's not listening. I need you to talk to him. And according to Punk, he reluctantly went over to Jack Perry and said, nope, can't do it. We don't do that here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And according to Punk, there was no problem at that point, right? Jack Perry acted as a professional. What did Jack Perry do? Took it back to the president of the company and said, hey, you told me I could do something. Who's Punk to come to me and tell me I can't? And what did the president of the company do? How did he respond to that? He allowed Jack Perry to do the spot in the beginning of the biggest event in the history of AEW. What does that tell you? Jack Perry had the go-ahead the entire time to do this spot. Why was CM Punk involved in the first place? He's not in the match. He has nothing to do with the storyline, and he's not a manager. He's not an authority figure. And even if he was, he does not have authority over the word of Tony Khan, the president of the company. CM Punk was sticking his nose where it didn't belong, trying to bully people. And, poor Jack Perry, his back is against the wall. Because CM Punk had already beat up 3 executives. He had already ran down 3 executives. He had already
not kayfabe, right?
In front of the president.
Not kayfabe, right?
Not kayfabe. Okay. Beat them up, right? So for you who works there, one of your peers gets to beat up executives and run them down in front of the world and keep his job. Is that a safe work environment for you? How do you feel? You feel like you can't go to anybody when this guy starts trying to throw his weight around on you. So what did Jack Perry do? Again, he went to Tony Khan. Tony Khan approved it. They put it on the pay-per-view. Jack Perry does a spot. And then he says something to the camera. Real glass. Cry about it. People cut promos in front of the camera during matches all the time. It is not unusual. And it was in the context of the match because that was real glass. And for anybody who tried to overrule Tony Khan and stop Jack Perry from doing the thing that he wanted to do, cry about it. Because you got to remember, somebody, CM Punk, leaked it out to the media that Jack Perry was told that he can't do something that he wanted to do. Right? That happened before.
Even though he was told Tony Khan he could do it.
Even though he was told by Tony Khan he could do it. That got leaked into the media. Now, who did that? All of CM Punk's favorite media people were putting that out. Okay? So we know it came from Punk and his folks there. Right? Basically saying Jack Perry was a fool. Jack Perry still got approved to do it. He did the spot. He celebrated the fact that he was empowered by the president of the company to do the thing that they agreed he could do. And somebody who was trying to push him around wasn't allowed to do so. And according to Punk himself, he went up to Tony Khan and said, you better do something about that. That's how you talk to the president of the company? You don't say, hey, I want a mediation. Hey, I feel attacked, or I don't appreciate the way that he was talking because I feel like he's talking to me. No, you better do something about it. That's how he talks. The same guy who ran down other people in the company, calling them children and that they don't want to make money and all this other stuff, but Tony Khan has to do something over somebody saying real glass. Stop it. Jack Perry comes from his match. CM Punk is the one who confronts him. This is according to Punk. and says, "Do you have a problem?" And Jack Perry says, "What are you going to do about it?" According to Punk. Now, if one of your coworkers confronts you and says, "Do you have a problem?" it's not inappropriate to say, "What are you going to do about it?" You're not in charge of me. You're not the president of the company. You've been bullying people. You're beating up executives. You're going around acting like you're Johnny Badass. What are you going to do about it? Right? And Punk, according to himself, proceeded to choke Jack Perry. That's what he said he did. Now, when you listen to Tony Khan said Punk put people's lives in danger. So it's consistent, right? If you choke somebody, you're cutting the air off so it can't get to their brain, can't get to their heart, the oxygen, what have you. You could kill somebody doing that. That's attempted murder, right? So this is what Punk admits that he did, right? So then when Tony Khan says he puts people's lives in danger during this moment, Tony Khan said he himself has never felt more unsafe than at that moment, and CM Punk is the perpetrator of inflicting the unsafe nature of the environment at that point. That's what Tony Khan said, right? CM Punk is backing all that up, right? Doesn't realize it, but he's backing all that up. It's consistent. At the end of the day, it comes down to this. There is a lack of respect that people have for pro wrestlers, and I'm sick of it. It's embarrassing. You act as if pro wrestlers are not entitled to a safe work environment. You act as if pro wrestlers don't have a constitutional right to express themselves, right? With their words. You act as if pro wrestlers are supposed to accept the fact that somebody who is just your peer, not your manager, not the boss, they can tell you, "I don't care what the president told you to do. I'm telling you, you ain't going to do it. And if you do it, I'm going to choke you. I'm literally going to put an attempt on your life if you do the thing," right? People act as if that's okay because they don't respect pro wrestlers, because they think they're better than pro wrestlers, because they know damn well in their workplace, in the workplace of their loved ones, if your child, if your mama, if your spouse came home and said, "Hey, my peer at work choked me because I listened to what the president said I could do," how would you react to that? So the fact that people are celebrating and patting Punk on the back and saying, "Good job," and "Yeah, the dude shouldn't have done this, and he shouldn't have, Jack shouldn't have done this." He shouldn't have done what? He shouldn't have listened to the president of the company. He shouldn't have done what the president said he could do. He shouldn't have felt good and felt empowered that the president actually stuck to his guns and allowed him to do the thing he wanted to do. Really? You would never accept that in your workplace. You would never want that to happen to your loved one. But it's okay that it happens to a wrestler because you don't respect them, because you look down on them. You think they're less than you. You think that it's the circus sideshow. They're just little playthings that we can look at, and if they get hurt, if somebody tries to choke them out and harm their life, that's okay because they don't matter to you. It's sick. Duke Loves Wrestling is the name of the brand, and there's a reason for that. I'm speaking up for what's right. And all you humanoids with the flavored malt beverage and skinny jeans and the skinny jeans out there, all of you out there who think it's okay that CM Punk choked Jack Perry for doing what the president of the company allowed him to do, I'm telling you right now, you need to repent. Okay, you need to put the flavored malt beverage down. Come over to the top shelf life because we do it strictly for the culture.
I guess my question, Duke, and Rob, I'll let you wait in a second. What was the upside for Punk to do this? Like, okay, so the president of the company says you can do a spot. Why would Punk not? Was Punk genuinely concerned about the safety of Jack Perry, or is this just a power trip?
Well, Punk wasn't concerned about the safety of Jack Perry because he tried to kill him. So you know he wasn't concerned about his safety. Let me tell you something. When you asphyxiate somebody,
oh my God,
what else are you doing? You are trying to cut off life from them. That's a fact.
I feel like Punk was trying to get fired.
It wasn't like they were engaged in some kind of mutual, sexual such and such.
Right,
no.
right.
This man was trying to literally take the life away from this man. Even if it was just for a temporary period of time, it's still a fact. That's what happened.
Right.
So no, he's not concerned about Jack Perry's safety. I'm going to tell you what CM Punk's
So why did Jack Perry get suspended then? What did he do wrong then? Because he got suspended too also. Okay.
Let me answer your first question.
Okay, go ahead.
CM Punk has a consistent theme throughout his career, and you can look at any documentary, any interview where people bring this stuff up. The "what about me," the desire to want to be viewed as a leader. He literally telling people, "I'm the locker room leader. You have to follow me." So when somebody doesn't follow what he says, this is what he does. He threatens them, bullies them, and if that doesn't work, now he's resorting to trying to choke them, or no, actually choking them. So trying to literally kill them, bringing harm to them. So that's what that whole situation is.
I'm sorry, Rob is laughing. It's hysterical.
But the fact that somebody would even laugh about somebody trying to kill somebody is just beyond my comprehension. I cannot understand, because this is real. This isn't some movie. It's not a wrestling storyline.
Do you think
that really
Punk,
happened?
Do you think Punk was trying to lose his job? Because if he had multiple years on his contract and he knew the environment was bad, maybe him doing what he did would probably got him his contract.
I don't think so. I don't think he was thinking that far ahead. I truly believe this man is a lunatic who has no control over himself, and his behavior points to it, because he beat up 3 executives. He wasn't trying to lose his job when he beat up 3 executives.
Which was confirmed, right? That was confirmed, right?
That's what happened. Absolutely.
So the second question, real quick: why did Jack Perry get suspended also himself?
Well, this is the problem. What does it mean to be suspended?
He's back on TV. Is he back on TV now? Is he back on TV now?
No, he's in New Japan because they have a talent swap. So some of the New Japan people, like Rocky Romero and those guys, they're performing in AEW, and Jack Perry's one of the people that's performing in Japan.
So was he disciplined just based off the
who says he was
altercation?
Disciplined?
That was the rumor. That was the rumors.
That's the rumor, but we assume that he was disciplined.
So he was not. Okay.
Here's what happened. The man went through a traumatic experience.
Oh, gee.
He had already, the whole point of the spot was because Jack was going to go on vacation. He already had time off that he was supposed to take. That was the point of the spot.
Right.
Do something so we can explain why I'm not on TV, because I'm quote unquote injured.
Hurt.
Right? So all of that stuff was already baked in. I don't believe Jack Perry was suspended. I do believe Jack Perry was allowed time off. I do believe AEW had to negotiate with Jack Perry so he didn't sue the daylights out of them, because you have a guy who beat up executives and you allow him to stay in the company, and then he's trying to choke me. You know what I mean? You going to tell me Jack Perry doesn't have a case there? Of course he does. So, and then the other part of that is, what are you going to suspend him for? For saying real glass during a match? Well, guess what? You're going to have to suspend everybody for saying things during matches.
Yeah.
So you could not suspend him for that.
Should have told you lost that company too. I mean, you could spend. I mean, yeah.
So you couldn't suspend him for that. What are you going to suspend him for?
It's been over 5 minutes.
About it. What are you going to do about it? Well, why wouldn't you say, what are you going to do about it? You couldn't suspend him for that.
Right.
It's been over 5 minutes.
That's yeah. So Rob, the genius, respond to Duke's rant here.
You sound like Jack McCoy on Law and Order. It's okay. I mean, good grief.
Go ahead, Rob.
Okay. You said he tried to kill him. Stop it. All right. Okay. Where do I start? All right. So let's go to what you said. All right. So we agree. Okay. So Punk said that the doctor asked him to stop Jack from doing the glass. Okay. And also Tony Schiavone. So there were people there other than CM Punk who thought it was a bad idea. Punk is generally against doing shit like that in matches. If you listen to him talk about it. So whether he wanted to go, shut Perry down or not, he agreed with Tony Schiavone and with the doctor. Okay. And by his own words, he was the guy running Collision. Okay. So either that's true or not. If it's true that he was running Collision, if that is true, then that means on that particular job site on that day, he's the man in charge. And so he said, we don't do that here. because he by his own words, he was in charge of Collision. So, and by his own words, he had a wrestler contract and he had another contract. He was not just a contract as talent. That's by his own words. So either he does have some type of authority role or he's lying. So now if you want to call him a liar, go ahead and call him a liar. All right. Please do that. If you think he's lying, say so. All right. Um, but okay, so he went. So the doctor and Tony Schiavone asked him to stop, to tell Jack, don't do it. And again, Punk, by his own words, was in charge at Collision, and he said, "We don't do that here. If you want to do that, do it on Wednesday." All right. He didn't say you can never do this ever. He didn't say, I'm going to go stop you from doing it everywhere. He said you don't do that here. Okay. So doing it at the pay per view is not doing it on Collision. So he got permission to do it at the pay per view. Okay, fine. And then he looked at the camera and he antagonized somebody on purpose. All right. That that did not add to the match. It had no other purpose but for him to say, fuck you, old man. I did what I wanted to. All right. And now look, should Punk have put hands on him? No. Okay, I'm not saying that it is okay to do that. However, if you antagonize somebody, the way I was raised, if you antagonize somebody, you know, whatever they do, yeah, there's certain things they shouldn't do no matter how much you antagonize them. But if they do some bad shit to you after you antagonize them, then you only got yourself to blame. Okay. And so Punk was punished. He was fired. All right. Just like if you talk shit to somebody in the street and they pull out a gun and they shoot you and they shoot you, they're going to jail, but you shouldn't have antagonized them. Okay. Punk got fired. Perry shouldn't have antagonized him. Both can be true. Okay. Both things can be true. And that served no purpose because the people watching the show, if you were watching the pay-per-view and you're not reading dirt sheets and all this stuff, if you are one of the people who, as we say on the Mindless Wrestling Podcast, just watches the show, you had no idea what the hell Jack Perry was even talking about when he said real glass. He had no idea. He said real glass. You're wondering what is, who cares? What's he talking about? Real glass. What is that? Okay. So clearly he said that to antagonize CM Punk or to stick it to CM Punk and say, ha, you can't stop me. And he antagonized somebody and that person got punished, but he shouldn't have antagonized them. Real simple. And as far as Punk beating up executives, the executives ran up on him in the locker room. I mean, and they should feel embarrassed because they had the numbers advantage and he kicked their asses. And that's the only reason this even was made into a thing. If they'd walked to the locker room and stomped him out, we'd be hearing a much different story. So, look, and at the end of the day, look, I mean, yes, Punk is a self-righteous asshole, and everybody knows that. Nobody's denying that. But all Jack Perry had to do was do his spot and then go to the back after the match was over. And Punk, if that's all he had to do, and that's it. And now Punk's account of events were that Perry got a little too close to him. And so according to Punk did not run up to Perry and start choking him. According to Punk, Perry got a little too close to him. So again, either you believe him or you don't. All right. And that's, I mean, and you're saying that, and Tony Khan said Tony Khan said that I felt my life was in danger. He didn't say that Punk put someone else's life in danger. Tony Khan said that he personally felt, unsafe, which is hilarious. I'm sorry. Uh, And I'm just, and this is all on Tony. Tony made the situation worse. And and you have these people like Jack Perry, these passive aggressive little bitches who think they can just do that type of stuff. They think they can just ground mocking people and whatever, and because they never had hands put on them. All right, and that's I mean, and that's the problem with all these little these passive aggressive dickheads like Perry and Matt and Nick Jackson. They make their little YouTube videos mocking people, right? And then Punk even want to Punk wanted to sit down and have a meeting. There was a meeting that was supposed to happen, and Matt and Nick Jackson backed out of it. Why? Because they didn't because they're bitches, okay? Because they'd rather go make their little YouTube videos and make fun of people than actually sit down and squash anything. That's what they do. All right. And look, CM Punk is not one of those. He's not one of them dudes to do that with. Because look, he's gonna find you, and you're gonna have you're gonna have your discussion, okay, one way or the other. And right, wrong, fair, unfair, whatever.
I think what's clear though of all this is that no matter what side you on this debate of Punk or Jack Perry or whatever it may be, what is clear is what's been confirmed for years by many people who in this industry, including you guys and Duke, especially too on your podcast, for said for years from day one, that locker room is unstable to hell, regardless of what side you're on. That all goes back to Tony Khan at the end of the day, and that's why you have what you have now. So that's clear. That's the one. That's to me. That's ultimately the biggest takeaway of all this is that it's nothing to do with CM Punk and him leaving and this and that and him getting fired and Jack Perry in his spot. That's obviously those two different things. To me, the big takeaway for me of all this is that locker room unstable. End discussion for me. So that falls to me. This all is still a Tony Khan problem at the end of the day. Not a CM Punk problem, not a Jack Perry problem. It's a Tony Khan problem. So, Rob, you done there, or you want to add a little more?
I don't really have anything else because look, I'm not even the biggest CM Punk. I'm not even a big CM Punk fan.
I know you're not. You've been very critical of him.
Yeah,
I know you 3 years. And you've been very critical of CM Punk.
I mean, and he's self-righteous. He's a hypocrite. He's an asshole. But in this particular instance, well, for all the time he's been with AEW, I tended to agree with the stuff that he said. And that's just kind of is what it is. But I mean, you know what you're getting with him. At this point, because because some of our guys in the Chair Shot Radio Network, we were having a discussion about that because one of the people there felt that had Punk had been healthy, that he should not have gotten to main event this year at WrestleMania because he thought it sent the wrong message to the locker room. And my retort to that was that, well, you whatever message you're sending to the locker room, you sent by bringing him in the first place, because everybody knows how he is. There's no secrets here with him. Yeah. Everybody knows how he is.
You have a sample size of 10 plus years of this
and
is who he is. Either you take it or leave it.
And he's on his best behavior. He's been on his best behavior since he came. And look,
Rob, as we said too, sorry to cut you off, as we said even before, you and I did the podcast on this. Me, you, and DJ did the podcast on this back in October when the firing happened before he went to WWE. We said that the reason why this will work is because they don't need him. They can insulate him, and if not, you're gone. We don't need him.
Well, now I see, and actually, they don't. So I've kind of revised my thinking there. They don't
have.
Well, because all right, they don't need him in that. They're not going out of business without CM Punk.
Right.
But however, when he came back, they absolutely did. They were on the verge of stagnation when he came back, and him coming back was absolutely. It was a jolt that they needed at the time.
Right.
So no, they don't need him to stay in business. No, but he came back at exactly the right time to inject some more excitement into things, because
it only helps at this point.
Yeah, but the thing is, look, there's no secrets with him. You know who he is. You know how he is. You know that he's on his best behavior until he doesn't get what he wants.
Yep.
And so we'll find out. We won't know of course he hasn't changed. He's almost 50 years old. Of course he hasn't changed. But we won't know if he's changing his behavior, if he's legitimately changing his behavior until he doesn't get something he wants. That's when we'll find out.
Go ahead,
And
Duke. Oh, wait.
until that happens, then what we see is what we get until he doesn't, until there's something he wants he doesn't get.
Right. Go ahead, Duke. Your rebuttal.
Brothers and sisters, what we have here is
What's the
someone
fucking
who is
debate?
very invested in providing lies. And I can only assume that the purpose of the lies is to fit an agenda, and it's
Where's the lie?
unfortunate because I'm
What I
not
lie about?
down with that. The only
What I
agenda
lie
I have is
about?
the truth.
What I lie about?
Let me count the ways. First of all, CM Punk himself said, "I will kill you." He literally said that on Ariel's podcast. He told Jack Perry, "I will kill you." That's what he said to him. So we can't ignore that. We have to be honest about the fact that the man said he'll kill him, and then he proceeded to attempt to kill him. So to laugh about that and to say, well, he wasn't trying to kill him. Oh, yeah? So why did he say he'll kill him, and then why did he choke him? The man said it. Those are his words, not mine. He admitted it on the podcast that he said.
Okay,
So
was
there's
John
that.
Cheney
Now,
trying to kill John
hold on.
Calipari?
Here you go again. Well, you
No,
interrupted me, Rob. You
I'm
don't want
asking
the
you.
truth out. You
That was
don't
a
want
flip.
the truth out.
I remember that clip that got brought up last week. I haven't seen that clip in years.
I put it out last week again, but
Did you really?
Trying to
Nice.
trying to interrupt me, Rob. Now, let me go back to what Tony Khan said. Quote: "This is not me trying to recreate history. This is a quote directly from Tony Khan. Today, I had to make one of the toughest decisions of my professional career. Today, I terminated Phil Brooks, CM Punk for cause.
Keep talking. My wife's calling me. Keep talking.
This stems from a. Is it me? Can you hear me, Rob?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
This stems from a backstage incident at AEW All In last Sunday. The incident was regrettable and it endangered people's backstage. That includes production staff, the people who help put the show on every week, innocent people who had nothing to do with it. I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years. I've been producing them on this network for nearly 4 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt until Sunday that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show. Okay? Now there's more, but Tony Khan identified that all of those different groups of people, their lives were put in danger by CM Punk. So for you to say that Tony said that it was only him who was in danger, that's embarrassing. You're lying. You're trying to recreate history. You're trying to rewrite history to fit an agenda. And I don't understand it because all we got to do is tell the truth, Rob. If CM Punk said, I told the man I'll kill him, and then he tried to kill him, if Tony Khan said he put everybody's life in danger, everybody who's backstage, he literally listed them. Let me count the ways here, Rob. So we got to be honest about this. But I love the fact that you avoid the notion that no one at any workplace should be put in a position where they're being choked because they had the audacity to listen to what the president said that they could do. You avoid that part. I love the fact that you say, well, CM Punk, he was in charge of Collision. Let's say that he was. Let's say Punk was put pen to paper. You are the manager of Collision. Does that mean he outranks the president of the company? No. The president of the company, his word is born. His word is the final word. So if the president of the company says I can do something, it doesn't matter what the manager says. So the fact that you ignore the whole hierarchy, basic corporate hierarchy, is embarrassing. You're trying to fit an agenda, as opposed to saying it the right and honest way, which is, you know something, Punk should have never been involved in that. It feels like a setup. He was set up to fail. We know what he is. We know what we're going to get. He has emotional issues. He can't control himself, right? So when somebody pushes back against him, he lashes out. So for that reason, that was not the person who should have been invited to go talk to a peer about doing something. If Tony Schiavone couldn't handle it, he should have called Tony Khan. And if he couldn't get in touch with Tony Khan, now what? Tony Schiavone should have just made the decision as the highest ranking person in the building and left it at that. Because the last time that I checked, Jack Perry doesn't film things. He's not in charge of the cameras. He doesn't broadcast things. He's not in charge of broadcasting either. He could have never done that spot and put it on TV or filmed it or what have you unless he had permission to do it. And he did, which is why he was trying to do it. And that's why Tony Schiavone had a problem, because he knew that Jack Perry had permission to do it. So, Rob, just tell the truth. That's all I'm asking you, man. Just tell the truth. Okay? And you can look close at the camera if you want. Just tell the truth, Rob. Just tell the truth, Rob. You can't refute anything I just said, because I just gave you direct quotes in sequence of events. Refute any of it. Go ahead. Refute
You called me a liar.
anything that I just said. Well, you did lie. What do you call it?
For crying out loud,
What do you call it? Rob, you literally just said something that was not the truth. And you have access to the same information I have. What do you call it? Because you're a genius. So I know that you don't misremember. So what else is it? That means you're doing it on purpose. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, whatever, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Dude, I mean, you're hilarious. I mean, you
The
get
facts.
to be. All right, so
Did CM Punk not say, "I will kill you"? Because that's exactly what he told Ariel. He said.
so I didn't.
Did he
I didn't
not
watch
say
that
that?
part of the interview. I didn't watch the whole
Oh,
interview. So
I bet you did. I bet you did.
I was saying that. Here you go.
I bet you made sure you didn't. You missed that part.
No, I just didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a bunch of the clips. I did not watch that part. Okay.
The
So I'm
man
sorry,
said, "Dude, I'll kill you." That's what he said to him.
Okay, well that's wrong. And did I not say that Punk shouldn't have? I said he shouldn't have done it. Did I not say that? Did I not say that?
Eventually, but you also said that Perry got what he.
So yes or no? Did I not say?
Yes, you said that. Yes.
Okay, and did I not say that Punk should have been punished and should have been fired? Did I not say that?
Yes.
Okay. So then what's the point here? All right,
Well, the point here is that you're trying to make it seem like it wasn't what it was, right? The point here is when you say that he didn't put everybody's life in danger. That's not.
Well, he didn't. How are you putting everybody's life in danger by choking one guy? How?
Because he did more than that, Rob. That's the point. He did more than that.
Was he spinning around like a helicopter and knocking stuff over or something?
Let me ask you a question. When you choke somebody, and do you think the person is going to stand there and let you do it? So clearly Perry was trying to get away from him, and people were trying to pull Punk off, and then that resulted.
Oh wait, no,
knocked over, people getting bumped around.
Stop it. You are speculating now.
No, I'm not speculating. This is information that I've received. I'm not speculating.
No, you're speculating that people.
I'm giving you further context of what Tony Khan was saying. I'm giving you further context of what Tony Khan was saying.
No, you are speculating.
No,
okay,
that's not a speculation.
At least
three separate eyewitnesses have confirmed this for me, which is why I can be so specific. Notice how my story has never changed.
3 eyewitnesses.
You ever notice that?
3 eyewitnesses.
Yes. Notice how my story never changed, because they all were saying the same thing. It's what happened. Punk started choking that fool. They started pulling Punk off. He was knocking things over. Then he lunged at Tony Khan and yelled at him, and he partially admitted. He admitted part of that. Punk said, "I told this guy this place is an effing joke. I quit."
Okay.
Right? He did say that, and he said a lot of other things too.
Well, and again, he was fired, which is
okay. But you're blaming Jack Perry. You're blaming the victim for what? For listening to what the president told him he could do?
If I see a car coming down the street and I run out in front of the car, okay. And if I step out in front of the car and the guy driving the car sees me and pushes and hits the gas, okay, yes, he is wrong, but I am also stupid for jumping. If I see a car coming and I step in front of it.
No. If you walk out in the street in the crosswalk and you get hit while you're crossing the street in the crosswalk, I identify it properly. Again, Jack Perry wasn't just doing something. He had permission to do something, and he was well within his working right to do it. He was supposed to do it, right? So if I'm walking in the street in the crosswalk and you are driving and you step on the gas and hit me anyway, you're blaming the victim for getting hit by the car?
Okay,
he's doing what he legally is allowed to do. He's supposed to be in the crosswalk, and he's a pedestrian. He has the right of way in the crosswalk. That's the law, even where you live. So it's like, what are we talking about here, right? That's the law where you live.
Well,
So-
look,
so- let me give you that. I got
If
him
I was-
discombobulated. I told you.
Oh,
I told
here
you
we
I
go.
was going to get him, EJ.
Who won the battle while I was gone? Because the wife just called me.
I was going to get him. Huh?
You mean tell me we put in 46 fucking minutes on Phil from Chicago? On
And
the
That's
podcast?
the biggest story in wrestling right
And
now.
there's a mania. And there's a mania. Big wrestler now.
I
The
got
Rock being
one-
back. Big wrestler now. Are you kidding me?
Let me make my closing statement, and then we're
Go
done.
ahead. We can get to Mania preview.
Okay, if I had come home from school and if I had told my dad, Dad, a guy punched me in the face at school, and he would say, okay, well, what happened? And if I
I
said,
did
well,
what
I
the
got
teacher
this.
told me to do. I did what the teacher told me I could do.
Now you cutting me off. Now you're cutting me off.
Uh-oh.
You're right.
Now you're cutting me
You're
off.
right.
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
Okay, if I had told my dad that, hey, this guy punched me in the face, he would ask, well, what happened? And if I told that, well, Dad, I got in this guy's face and I started talking a bunch of shit to him, and he got tired of me, so he punched me in the face. And you know what he would have said? He would have said, the kid shouldn't have punched you in the face, but why'd you run your fucking mouth?
So you're not going to tell him that you have permission from the principal to do it? To
And he
do
would-
the
and-
thing?
and you know what he
the
would have
kid
said?
is mad at you for that?
And you know what he would have said to me? You know what he said to
He
me?
would have said you did the right
No,
thing.
actually, no. So you don't know my father. Okay. You know my father would have said to me? He said, well, maybe so, but now you got a black eye, so how's that working for you?
Working great because that guy just got kicked out of school. Working great.
Sure.
We just
Quick-
saved a whole bunch of lives that were put in danger by that
Save
maniac.
lives, my God.
By that
Save
maniac
lives.
because a hero stood up to him. That's
You sound
that's
Who,
what
Jack
Now you
Perry?
sound like
The hero Jack Perry?
A hero.
Now you sound like Colonel
A
Jessup.
hero.
Real
Now you
quick,
sound like Colonel Jessup. Okay?
before you got this topic, quick. And this is really a Duke question because I know how Rob feels about the situation. We discussed it actually on the podcast last week. Will we ever see Ronda Rousey back at WWE? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
You see
Absolutely.
back at okay.
Absolutely. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised by she'll probably be at next WrestleMania. She'll probably wrestle at the next unless she's pregnant. That's
Because
the only thing that will stop.
according to Good Morning America, she highly doubts she returns. She goes, unless things drastically change without things to run there, I highly doubt it. Doubt it.
Did you hear those caveats?
Unless
You
things
just read
drastically
it.
change there.
You-
Well,
you-
Vince is gone,
Did
so
you hear
yeah.
those caveats?
Yeah.
Not only Vince is gone, the majority of the family is gone. And everybody and most of his cronies are gone.
Pritchard's there
Even
still?
Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard is out on medical leave. He hasn't been around.
Oh, really? Okay.
And when he comes, because he had double surgery on his shoulders, but even when
Okay.
he comes back, I don't think he's long for the world.
Okay.
So,
Well, not death.
Rousey-
Long for the WWE world.
no, yeah, long in the WWE world. I
Right.
said that world.
You're trying to murder him
I
too,
was-
right?
Yeah, no, I ain't trying to kill Bruce Pritchard. I know Bruce, but Rousey is being very strategic because she's negotiating.
Yeah.
So that's all that is. She's negotiating. So she wants to make sure she has certain things in her contract and all that stuff, and the parties going back and forth. So she's playing games with that, and good for her. She should get all that she wants because she's a big star. I get it.
Right. All right. After 49 minutes, 50 minutes of this podcast, let's get to what we came
Rob
here to
is
do in the
hurting.
first place.
He's hurting right
Rob-
now. Jack.
Oh,
WrestleMania 40 is upon us. Now, Rob, you'll be at night 2, you said.
yes.
Oh,
I will be at night 2, and Friday night I will be at Supercard of Honor.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So I love how they built this match. Only 7 matches for night 1, 6 for night 2. Obviously subject to change if anything happens between now and Saturday. But I like the it's a nice balance. It's a by the way, is it 7:00 start or 8:00 start? Because someone said
earlier
7
than that.
o'clock.
it's going to be earlier than that.
Okay. Well, in any case, this is the first match. Women's World Championship on the line. The champ Rhea Ripley against Becky Lynch. There's no way I mean,
It's for
I mean-
conclusion. Yeah.
I don't see Rhea lose this match just because of
No,
the fact that
no.
she's on a heater right now. What is Becky? Becky wins the title. Okay, cool. That's a cool story, but now what? Plus, is her contract expiring very soon too?
Yeah, and there's no news of her resigning it. So
Yeah.
this is a foregone conclusion.
Rhea. I got Rhea in this one. Go ahead, Duke. What you got?
That's a good question. I think Rhea will retain, but I don't think she's going to get a clean win. Or if she does get a clean win, she'll be attacked right after. I don't think she's going to celebrate at the end.
Is she a tweener now?
Yeah,
Or-
she's going to be a full baby face. I don't even call her a tweener. She's a baby face. Rhea's a
Okay.
baby face.
Yeah, because I see that more of a
Rhea's a
babyface. Yeah, it's more like a babyface now. The more I see her. Rob, you the same boat, Rhea as well.
Oh yeah, I said a foregone conclusion. She's gonna win this. Because with the whole dissension and Judgment Day, somebody, part of the group has to win, part of the group has to lose to further that. So, but she's gonna win.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's the
Nia
right call.
Jax is going to be the person that's going to take that belt off of her eventually. It's going to be Nia.
How you like she's been booked since been back?
Nia Jax is how she's been booked has been, as the kids say these days, mid. But Nia Jax's performance has been the best performance in wrestling, in my opinion. I think that
Really,
for 2024, there's nobody better than Nia Jax in terms of performance. I think she's just been literally perfect. I give her an A+.
Rob, what do you think about that? You agree with him?
Look, I think she's the best out of the people that Triple H actually had to make a decision on bringing back. Like Punk fell into his lap; he doesn't get credit for that. And
Yeah.
Cody was already there; he doesn't get credit for that either. But he had to actually make a decision to bring Nia Jax back. And so, out of the people he made a decision to bring back, she's easily the best one. And the Raw women's division was on. I mean, sleeping.
Yeah, was mid, as the kids say, as Duke said, the kids say mid at best.
Because they were keeping Rhea and Becky apart,
right?
And then there was literally nobody else there that was even a believable contender. And so, Nia Jax changed that when she came back, and she woke the division up basically by coming back. And
little jolt, as he said, a little
yeah,
jolt.
because look, imagine if she hadn't come back. Look what would have happened. I mean, going from September up until the Elimination Chamber when Becky won the Chamber, what would have been going on if she hadn't come back? We're talking 3 or 4 months.
We disagree with that? No, do you agree with that, Duke? Right?
No, I agree 100%. I agree.
Okay. If she had not come back, what would have been going on? It'd have been a wasteland.
And it gives Rhea something to play with until this match.
Yeah, and so that division would have been a total wasteland if she hadn't come back. And
I do agree that if there's someone to style off Rhea, I think Nia Jax is possibly the next person in line to do that.
She's the one.
Yeah. No. They're already teasing it now as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. How about this one? IC title. Gunther still a champ. The quote unquote greatest of all time. I don't agree with that, but whatever. Versus Sami Zayn. So I know you and I, Duke, did a podcast last year. We ranked our top 10 IC champs all time. And did you have Gunther on your list at all?
I don't even think I had him on my list. So I mean,
do you feel it's been almost a year now? He's past Honky.
Listen, I
he's
like
still there.
Gunther. I like Gunther, but I'm not putting him on no list of greatest IC champ of all time. I think that's ridiculous. He doesn't have the amount of matches, the volume of matches to even be in that conversation. Okay. That doesn't mean that he's not an exciting wrestler to watch, a wrestler worth watching, and all that good stuff. But give me a break, man. I think people are overblowing it. He has done nothing to elevate that title. People want to watch Gunther. They don't want to watch the IC champion, and there's a big difference there. Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't elevate the IC title.
I agree. I actually agree with that 100%.
Okay, they were there to see Stone Cold. They didn't give a damn that he had.
He was bigger than the title.
He was bigger than the title. I think Gunther's bigger than the title, so I don't put him in that. I think Sammy's going to lose because somebody's going to interfere. It's going to be as simple as that. It may be Chad Gable.
So Gunther retains, of course. Okay,
he retains. Yeah, he shouldn't.
Yeah, I think so too.
He has a world title program. I don't think.
Well, I would have thought. At this point, I would have thought Gunther would have been in the title picture, that world title picture at this point.
Sure,
but we're here, so
but real stars are here. So
yeah,
sorry, buddy.
Dwayne came back, of course. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Rob. Who you got in this one?
I think Gunther wins. I think honestly, this would be a perfect time for them to borrow something from TNA with the option C, where Gunther could just drop the Intercontinental title in exchange for a world title shot. Because
or cash in.
I mean, they'll win the briefcase.
Well, when's the last time a cash has happened on a
the IC champ.
It
has happened recently though.
No, Austin Theory tried it on the U.S. champion last year, but that's the only time, and that's only because they didn't have any. Because they knew, I mean, Roman was the unified champion, and Austin, they wouldn't. No way they were going to end that with no damn Money in the Bank cash in. So they had nothing to do with it, so they
That's
had to
the
just
move.
they had to burn it off on something else.
Yeah.
Which I mean, just a side note, but it's time to have I think it's time to retire the men's Money in the Bank briefcase for a couple of years
Why is
because
that?
if they're just not going to pull the trigger, if they keep having these cold feet and this waffling about pulling the trigger,
Does it expire WrestleMania weekend?
No.
it
How's it
expires
work?
after a
How's it
year.
work exactly?
You have a year. You have a full year.
So you have until July this year to do it. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just if but they keep waffling. I mean, last year again, it was Austin Theory, and then they didn't. They had him use it on the U.S. title, and he didn't succeed.
But I thought they did a good job with the teases with it. You know, the
Well, but-
Brock tease in the
Well,
SummerSlam match against Roman.
You
Remember?
knew Austin, you knew Austin Theory wasn't going to beat.
But it was still
Roman
good storytelling,
Reigns.
though, regardless, though.
I mean, there were funny moments. I mean, we seen him get knocked out by Tyson Fury was funny. I mean, so
Why
yeah,
do
they
they have
were.
to win? They don't have to win. Who says they have to win?
Well, it's just. I mean, I agree, but okay. So there's Theory failed. The year before him was Big E. Big E succeeded. The year before him was The Miz. But then, all right, that was 2020. But then 2019 was Brock. But then you had 2018 Braun Strowman failed. 2017 Baron Corbin failed. So I just think right now it feels like they are very skittish about cashing in on the world champion, and and the way the way they've done this with Priest has just been abysmal because Seth Rollins has been laid out like how many times, and Damian Priest is not operating alone. He literally has 4 or 5 people at any given time to come out there with him, and for him to just not come out there at all, like several times where Seth Rollins was left like dead in the middle of the ring. Um, it's just to me, it's just too much waffling. And if if you're afraid to pull the trigger, now because you have world champions you don't want to take the belt off of like that, then it's time to, I think, give it a break. But anyway,
I wouldn't go that far, but I see your argument, though. I don't think it's a bad argument at all, but I don't think you should put something as big as a Money Bank on a break. I think if it gets cashed out, that use this weekend, I think it's no world title match, and not the Cody match either. It's the Seth Drew match.
Oh yeah,
a target. So,
but even with that, if he does do that, if he does win, I mean, we know that by SummerSlam it's going to be Drew and Punk and
maybe
Seth fighting over that belt.
Maybe, but let's move that fucking briefcase at some point down the road. We need to move it. It's been 9 months, 10 months.
Well,
So
to me, they should have moved it already. They could have done it, and then if they wanted Seth to be champion at WrestleMania, you could have Priest cash in on him back in October, and he could have won it back by now. Because that happens a lot of times. The person cashes in, and then several times the person that they beat for it has won the belt back from them. So they could have done that already.
You can't move the briefcase so quickly because it's a marketing piece. They sell briefcases.
They move the women's briefcase real fast every year.
All right, but still have a briefcase.
Because they identified that the title holders who won the briefcase were not that good. Liv Morgan was terrible. Nikki Cross. Let's be real. They tried things and it failed miserably. At least with the male side, there's more
competition.
Competition, I guess. Yeah, that's a good word. That's what it is. They tried. You can't say women. The guys, the companies didn't try with women. Doing women, it's failed.
So what do y'all think?
It's not believable either.
What do y'all think?
I think you keep it as long as you can keep it, even up to the pay per view. I don't.
What they should do is create a secondary belt, mid card belt for the women, like they have the IC and US titles. Yeah. Same way for the women.
You can do it
because no one believes Liv Morgan's a world title holder. No one believes in Nikki Haley. Nikki Cross is the world title. No, but those are the levels to this. You have your top girls, Bianca's and Rhea's and Becky's, you name it, and then you have the lower level women who award them with a lesser belt. That's all.
So where does EO fit into this category for y'all?
EO could do both. EO's great in the ring. She's believable
in the ring, but she's a terrible character. So she's
correct.
Basically, she's worse than Sheamus to me.
But the character could be. But this is why they need to bring managers back into the fucking wrestling. That's why managers correct that problem.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's just my old school thinking, you know.
Well,
But,
I mean, I agree. Io's not much of a character. The other thing I made with her is that she's supposed to be a heel, and she's just panders to the fucking crowd all the time.
Yep.
I mean, Brock Lesnar wasn't a great character either, but fucking you put him with Paul Heyman, that's
Well, he was a
wrap.
perfect character because he beat people up. You can
Yeah, but
understand that.
again, he couldn't talk on the mic for fucking years.
Just beat people up.
Well, I agree.
Great
but-
character.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the Judgment Day, we got a 6-pack tag team ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. So the match will end after both titles under the Undisputed Championship banner, the Raw and SmackDown tag titles, have been retrieved, making it possible for the titles to split between both these teams. So the teams are, of course, the Judgment Day of Finn Balor and Damian Priest, versus DIY of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, versus the Awesome Truth of The Miz and R-Truth, versus the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, versus A-Town Down Under with, of course, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and the New Catch Republic of Peter Dunne and Tyler Bate. This could be a fucking banger, I think. I haven't watched week to week. This match is just new to me right now, and I'm like, whoa, this has night one possible favorite here. And Duke, you shake your hand, yes. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a car crash, and I think that whoever wins has to be teams that need it.
I think
You know what I mean?
I think Theory Waller wins it.
Well, yeah, they should definitely win because they need the belts. It'll help them get over. And who's the other? DIY could win too.
Yeah,
I
DIY.
think they're going to split the belts.
I think
They should, and they really should at this point now. They really
You're going to
should.
get
It's
two
long.
different champions walking out. You're going to get two different champions walking out.
Well, yeah, I think they wouldn't have mentioned that if
Yeah.
one team was going to walk away with both.
So wait, you think they split on this night, or you'll do
On this night, I think DIY wins one set, and I think that Theory and Waller win the other.
I'm with
set.
you on that too. DIY as well being another team. Yeah. Give it to new fresh blood there. You know, like I said.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. DIY and A-Town Down Under. I'm rooting for that also too. Rob, what you got?
I think Theory and Waller win the blue ones, but I think Miz and Truth are going to win the red ones. They've been,
they
they
need it. They don't need it. It'll be fun.
But that's a story though, because Truth got kicked out of Judgment Day and they beat the shit out of him a bunch of times, and it's
You're
payback.
right.
So, and they did the same to the Miz. So I think that's the story. And but to me, the most important thing is that they split the belts up because they have like a dozen tag teams and they've all been circling a drain because there's literally nothing for them to fight for. Basically, they fight for the right to lose to whoever the unified champions are. It's been that way for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And that's just completely taken the air out of the tag team division. Because there's just, again, there's nothing to win. And they're just fighting each other, and the matches have little meaning at all because, again, all you're fighting for is the right to lose to whoever is the unified champions at the moment, because the unified tag team titles have been part of just a bigger angle or a bigger story for 2 years. And so it's not, the unified champs don't lose the belts until it's time to do a turn in the bigger story that they're in. That happened with the Usos, and then with Kevin and Sami, and then it's going to happen here with with Priest and Balor. So I'm hoping that to me, the most important thing is that the belts get split. I think Theory and Waller get one, and I think Truth and Miz get the other one.
Okay. We got the Usos fighting each other. Jimmy versus Jay. I feel like the Rock being back is taking the sting off this feud a little bit.
Yeah.
The match will fix that, though. The match will fix
that. It'll be a banger. I'm not worried about that. It'll be a banger.
Yeah.
I feel like Jimmy needs to win here, right?
No.
I'm gonna go Jay.
Jay
though,
needs to be elevated to the main event, and he's not going to get there if he's taking losses at WrestleMania. So he needs to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jay as well too, though. Main event Jay.
Solo makes a mistake and hits Jimmy by accident, and that allows Jay to win.
And they feud probably after, or have a little something.
I don't know. I'm not big on Solo, to be honest. I mean, I think he's fine, but
I think Jay too.
Jay went, because again, Jay, like I said, Jay, they put an artificial ceiling on top of Jay for the past 6 months because because of the Cody thing and finishing the story and all that.
Right.
And look, we've been saying over at the Mindless Wrestling Podcast, we've been saying for a long time, if it was anything but professional wrestling, Jay would be the one to beat Roman. But it's not Jay because they got to have a show the next week and they got to sell T-shirts the next week and all of that. But
It's big storytelling.
if you were writing a book, if you're writing a novel, Jay would do it. If it was a video game, it would be Jay. If it was a comic book, it would be Jay. If it was like a TV miniseries, it would be Jay. The two
But
now.
for wrestling, no.
Yeah, because you got to have a show the next week. So,
Yeah.
but I think Jay wins here.
Yeah. All right. You got the 6-woman tag team match between Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus the Damage Control of Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane.
Oh, that's the foregone conclusion. This is a showcase for primarily Jade. They're gonna throw the girls around, and Naomi will get beat up for a few minutes, and then Bianca will clean house, and then Jade will come in there and finish off whoever's gonna take the pin.
I feel like I mean, that's not a demotion for Bianca, but clearly the last couple of WrestleManias being someone who virtually headlined one WrestleMania and then was pretty much on top of the card for the others. Kind of a little bit of cooling off period for her now, which is fine. Actually, it's okay to cool off a little bit and then reheat her again.
Well, her opponent is rehabbing an ACL. The opponent she's supposed to have is rehabbing an ACL. So.
Right. So it's okay because you can also get burnt out too, also as well. So it's not bad to have a little slight cool off for Bianca, but best believe they're gonna reheat her very soon. She's just too damn good. So, I'm taking the team of Bianca, my girls, Bianca, Naomi, and Jade.
The new nation. The new nation.
The new nation. The female nation. The female nation domination.
That's it.
Who'd you got? Same thing?
Yeah, but I would love to see somebody attack Naomi.
Why?
Bianca or Jade. I want to see that happen right away.
Wait, hold on, dude. She was we ranked the top 10 most people in wrestling history, and she was number 1 for you.
Okay,
Naomi, what you doing? What you doing?
I want to see her pay up.
Pay up for what?
You left.
She should
leave
let you
come back. Now you gotta do the favors. That's
Are you serious?
You're gonna do the favors. You're gonna do the favors.
Oh, good God.
You're gonna do the favors. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna do the favors. So
really,
whether it be Bianca or Jade, they need to bust her. It could be both. They just make it good.
But I kind of say also too, I'm just glad Kairi Sane's back. Her and Asuka back together again.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love Kubika Warriors. Love them.
Absolutely.
All right. You picked also Nation Domination to Rob?
Yes, but I want them to attack Naomi.
Why?
Both of them, doesn't matter. Attack her ass.
Dude, Bianca is not turning heel. Okay,
She's already a heel, so it would be perfect.
You think so? You think so?
No, she's not. She's not a heel.
Jade and Bianca as a team would be like the female Road Warriors. That'd be perfect, right?
Oh my God.
So we can't act like that wouldn't be a great team. Now,
they would already
get heat.
If they form, they'll be immediately the most dominant female tag team ever. Just because
that's the best way to get heat. Get heat by destroying Naomi. Not beat her up, destroy her.
But what did Rob say on this podcast weeks ago? Okay. It's Jane Cena. That's her.
Jane Cena. There it is.
That's Bianca.
I don't think it's happening. I thought they would turn her heel a while ago. Hasn't happened, so I don't think it's happening at this point.
All right, so then she's the
one
who
gets
beat up. So wait, Naomi and Jade is a good tag team.
So wait a minute. So why do you want to see a black woman get beat up?
Listen, that's
no. But to Duke's point, that I can see is happening more likely is those two attacking Bianca. I can see that happening.
Do that. I think that makes sense.
All right.
And then
next
Bianca
one
can deal with that.
Oh,
we got a tag match here. The LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Still the hottest heel right now going in the company, right? Well,
that's right.
Next to The Rock, of course. Yeah.
I think Santos and Dom.
Yeah, I'm there too.
So I think
Dom ain't losing no match. You kidding me? Dom ain't losing that Mania. That ain't gonna work. Dom has to win. Yeah,
we lost last year.
Yeah, but he can't lose again.
Yeah, but it makes. But you gotta. It's a feel good story. He didn't lose his heat. He didn't lose his heat. If anything, he got more heat after it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I don't think he's losing this time though.
No, he can't lose this time.
No,
they need to form their own little thing there with Andrade. So he's gonna win.
Right. And finally, the night one main event is the tag match, the Bloodline versus the Bloodline, of course, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Obviously, the stipulation here, if Rhodes and Rollins wins, all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during the title match on night 2 between Cody and Roman. Now, if The Rock and Roman wins, the championship match will be under Bloodline rules. So this match is going to tell us what we know. But this match is going to be the clue of how the main event goes night 2. We assume anyway. I'm wrecking my head with this shit because Cody and Seth have been getting their ass whooped week to week, which tells me historically, well, it means the other team's going to win. But that's way too simple, man.
Well, let's put it this way: Cody's daddy used to get his ass beat every week, and he would still lose the big match. So
that's true. That is true.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
he earned it. He earned it.
Yeah. So
hard times.
Right.
I mean, so you have to keep that in mind. But honestly, this is one rare time where I honestly do not. I don't have an answer because this could go either way.
And that's great. Isn't that awesome, Rob? Come in here blind. What the fuck's gonna happen this weekend? And I'm tell me the story. I'm good.
Yeah, and this like, well, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. This time it's definitely good that it's like this.
Yeah. Only marks on the internet tell me, oh, it should be this way. No, just follow the story, enjoy the match. You know, I'm gonna pick. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
I think, honestly, because I think whatever result they get to, they've been doing it so well that whatever result they get to will be it's going to be executed really well. And you should be able to take whatever result that comes out of it. Excuse me.
Bless you. Yeah. Bless you.
I mean, like, the only part that I thought was badly done was when the whole thing where Cody said that the whole night at WrestleMania. I thought that was very just kind of clumsy and not well written stuff there. But outside of that, everything's been A+, man.
I'll say they are minting Cody as the next babyface. I mean, all these attacks, the Rock beating the shit out of him, and even the Rock couldn't get the entire crowd to go with him because they want Cody. He's being minted as the next guy. Who'd you pick this one?
All right, well, I got to pick somebody, so I'll pick. Man,
it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, man. It is because, just like tying the two main events together, like I could see where Cody and Seth win, and then Cody's got Roman to himself. But if that happens, then somebody who is not in the bloodline is going to interfere.
Yes,
because
we get to a night 2, obviously.
The night 2 main event is going to somebody is interfering in that match. Okay, it's just a matter of who
is. And we'll make predictions on the back end of the.
But since we got to say something, I'm going to go with Seth and Cody win night 1. Because I got to pick somebody. Okay,
go ahead, Duke.
Rock and Roman for sure. They're leaving them laying. Rock and Roman, absolutely, no question. Bloodline's going to be able to interfere. Cody's going to have to fight the world in order to win. He ends up, well, I won't say what happens at night 2.
Well, just that.
Rock and Roman is going to win. They're going to win, and they're going to decimate them in the end. That victory is going to leave people laying. Okay, shocking victory.
I think Rock and Roman win because I think Seth turns on Cody.
Even better. I love it.
Turns on them tonight. I mean, at night 1.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense.
At night 1.
Yeah, why not?
Leave him.
It's part of his character. Seth is not to be trusted.
Oh no, Seth. Okay, Seth turning absolutely makes sense.
It's the question is when. It's the when part.
Yeah, right. Because he's an insecure.
They are. I think
weasel.
But I think the reason why you do that is because I think the WWE right now is so invested in Cody Rhodes now. They just announced the extension a couple days ago, also too. This contract extension. They are minting Cody as the next guy, like the next Hogan, Cena, Roman. You name it, the next guy. And all the rub they've given this guy, you just add another layer, another salt in the wound with Seth turning on him now on top of that too. Also,
yeah.
You thought you can get more sympathy out of this, and then you add the Seth part, and then you already know Seth and Cody has had massive matches, so you have that story to tell on top of that now.
And they have real life heat too.
Yeah. So the question, so to me, to the point, the question is when with the Seth Cody split. Obviously, I think why not do it here? Blow the whole fucking chaos up now on the biggest night, the Short Immortals. You know what I mean? So give me Roman, give me Bloodline, but because Seth turns on Cody.
Cody accidentally hits Seth. Seth takes it the wrong way. and he doesn't have to turn on him like he has to hit him. He just walks away.
Yeah.
That's all.
Mega powers.
He just
Mega
leaves
powers.
the match.
Mega powers. Mega powers.
Yeah.
There's history to this. So and that's all I said. Seth is very much like Savage.
Yeah.
Very much like Savage.
Yeah.
So, which is a great segue to night number 2 because first match on the list here is the World Championship match, heavyweight championship match between Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre. For the record, like I said, I've been watching TDS like you guys have it week to week, but the little I've been watching, I love the way they're using Drew McIntyre. He's a heel, yes, but he's kind of cool, a cool heel, like almost like a tweener type in a sense.
Well,
I love it.
We like him. Us on the internet, we like him. What he's doing.
Yes.
But he is 100% a heel. There's nothing. He's not doing for anything virtuous or anything like that.
Fellas, I think title change hands tonight on Sunday.
I think Seth definitely loses. It's just the question is, does he just lose to Drew and that's it, or does Priest come in?
Yeah, I think
that's the only question.
Priest cashes in because we don't know if Seth doesn't have a new contract yet.
No, he doesn't.
Was both him and Becky in the same timeline? Okay.
Yep. So
what about Drew? Isn't Drew also up a new deal as well too?
Well, I think
Drew is also up.
But I mean,
looks like he signed.
I'm saying that they wouldn't be doing all this with him if he had not resigned. They'd be jobbing him out. I mean,
sliding Priest in there though to beat both of them is a good statement to make.
It's possible, yeah. So either Drew wins or Priest cashes in, one or the other. But
I think both could happen. I think 100% Seth loses the match to Drew. Now, does Drew have the title beyond the night?
No,
it digs up in the air. I'll put that 50-50. Drew's winning the title no matter what. Is Drew champion leaving Philadelphia? Is the question. But Drew winning the title no matter what.
Yeah,
and I can see a cash in. I could see a cash in at some point as well too on this match. But give me Drew definitely win this match. I think he gets his moment finally at Mania, and you go from there. You guys all agree Drew wins?
Yes.
Yeah. But cash in too. Cash in's definitely happening on that match, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would put the belt on Priest in that situation.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
And then you build a Drew.
Well,
Priest.
because you can have a Priest lose to Gunther. If Drew and Seth leaves, now you have a vehicle to get the belt on Gunther by SummerSlam.
That's very true.
So it satisfies everything, or at the Clash at the Castle, you can do it there.
Well, I think
which is when again? Which is when?
In June.
Is it June? June or
yeah.
July?
Okay.
It's in June, and by the way, Drew was on the poster for that. So.
Aha.
Okay, but Brock Lesnar's been on the poster for WrestleMania for over a year. I mean,
Well, he would have been in WrestleMania involved if it was.
He's not on the poster now. I mean,
he would have been there ahead of. Well, we already know. We have to go rehash that shit again.
But
all right,
the fact that they put Drew on a brand new poster suggests to me that he already re-signed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. All right. WWE Women's Championship. Io Sky, the champ, versus Bayley. Oh, this is easy. Get it, Bayley. Let's go.
Yeah, Bayley's gonna win that.
She deserves it. And she deserves it. She deserves her moment after what she did during the COVID and the pandemic. She was phenomenal. So she deserves it.
She stuck around. She didn't
absolutely,
leave the company.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Unlike her buddy, her best friend.
Oh, man,
I love Sasha. I love Sasha. I'm just saying. Did she leave?
Well, yes.
All right then.
She left. She's making more money. It worked out for everybody.
No, that's great. I'm not mad at her for doing it. I'm just saying, but she left.
Bayley's making more money because she left too. So everybody wins. It's all good.
Yeah.
And Bayley supported her. Wasn't Bayley there for the debut? Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Best friends, I'll tell you. All right. I look forward to this match, actually. LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
LA Knight needs that victory.
Yes.
You got to give it to him. He needs it.
He's still red hot, too.
Not hot enough.
Well, I mean, the crowd loves him still.
Yeah.
So, is it time to get him to a belt picture? But
he can be IC title.
US. Yeah. Get that mid card going. Get that mid card firmed up. You know what I mean? I'm with you. LA Knight, Rob, or are you going AJ?
I'm going AJ.
Is it needed though? I don't know.
Well, it's not about need. I mean, most of these people don't. Most of these people don't need the win. I mean,
yes, they do.
I don't know all that now. Some people need the
Cody
rub.
Rhodes. If Cody Rhodes loses again at night 2, I don't know what to tell you. He needs that.
If he can
Save
scoop
that
it,
because I
I'll
got a
say
lot of
that.
things. I want to save a nice 20 minutes discussion about that because there's a lot of
Okay.
parameters, a lot of things in that. Save that content. But I don't AJ look all swollen stuff though. But it's LA night. Yeah, I mean that's
AJ's on that Ike Pro, man.
get that crowd going, man.
AJ and Randy Orton came back on that Ike Pro.
For real, right?
What?
Speaking of,
They came back on that.
all right, we got the U.S. title match, triple threat match for the U.S. title. We got Logan Paul the champ versus Randy Orton. Speaking of Ike Pro, and Kevin Owens. Call me crazy. I'm going KO.
I think Logan Paul escapes.
Really?
KO,
Oh, goddamn. Come on.
Yeah.
KO and Randy cancel each other out, and he escapes.
My wife will be pissed off if she sees that shit.
Well, that's the point.
She hates Logan. She hates Logan Paul so much.
That's-
So much, fellas. So much he hates Logan Paul that my soon-to-be 11-year-old son loves the Prime. Not allowed in the house. You can drink it outside the house. not in the house at all. He goes, you can drink that in the car, but you can bring that shit in the house. I hate that. No, he's not. You damn lying. Huh?
That stuff is expensive. What kind of job that
It's
boy
like $2. What's that? Look at Walmart for $1.89.
Listen, $1.99 is still expensive for one bottle.
Okay, but I mean,
Listen,
I can afford it, I guess, right?
Listen, that boy better start doing podcasting if he want Prime. All right, you ain't you ain't drinking no more Prime.
Don't
you
go
get an Arizona iced tea and cut it out.
We're actually doing a quick YouTube short on each night. We're gonna do like a prediction. He's gonna have his predictions for all the matches this week.
Yeah, we're gonna put him to work. Listen, EJ,
Yeah.
just tell him I'm you. It's all good. I'll lay it down. Just tell him I'm you. Nah, boy.
I'll let know his grandma said to get to work. You know what I mean? There you go.
Right.
Good job, cousin.
That's right.
I got KO though. I don't know why. It's got KO.
Not me. Logan Paul, 100%.
Okay. You got Logan Paul too, right, Rob?
Yep.
All right, we got a 6-man Philadelphia street fight between the Pride of Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford with BFAB versus the Final Testament of Karrion Kross, Akam, and Razor with Scarlett and Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering's back. Interesting. I mean, it's a Pride. Come on now. What are we doing here?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nation domination.
Unfortunately, with Dawkins, that big loss he had, his mom passed away. You don't beat him at WrestleMania. That's not right. It just
not only that, you're not beating Bobby Lashley. Period. End discussion. Regardless of circumstances.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's hurt business. Come on, hurt business. Let's go.
Yep.
So, all right, we all agree with that, right? So,
I think so.
Okay.
Who cares?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. That's the who cares match.
It's a filler match. Yeah, it really is. Which sucks because these guys are for the most part, at least the Pride anyway.
The Street Profits are a disaster. I don't even. I don't know, man.
But is it a booking issue, Duke?
No, they have not progressed from a skill standpoint. You look at what happened with the New Day. You look at what happened with the Usos. You look at what happened with Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. You can go down the list of tag teams that showed continuous growth. And I'm sorry, man, I don't see it in their work at all.
What are they missing? What are they missing exactly? The in-ring work is fine, right?
No.
No? What is missing?
Everything.
Do you break them up?
Yeah, I mean, Dawkins could probably be a champion if he was on his own.
I
know that sounds crazy, but you could repackage him and do it. Montez is going to end up breaking his neck before he could even get a chance. I think he's the weak link in that whole situation.
Really?
Wait, sounds crazy.
Jesus, that's a hard
crazy.
That's a hot take.
That is a take.
Dude, what are you?
Montez Ford is holding that whole tag team. Is holding Dawkins back. I truly
Wow.
I truly believe that.
I don't agree with that. I think Dawkins is talented, but I think Montez has the character. He's the character guy. You take him off by himself solo. He's like a mini version of Rock, in my opinion.
Oh, please. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Oh, no.
Trick Williams is a mini version of The Rock, not Montez Ford. And
when shirt and tie.
Okay. Trick, big difference.
Okay, suit and tie. Okay, suit and tie.
Come on now. I didn't put the jacket on. I didn't want to scare you now. So
I know. I was get too super serious. Super serious danger zone, right? I get it.
That's
all right.
That's right.
All right, finally. Here we go.
Go
ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't agree with. Well, I think that for one, I think like all the other tag teams, they're a victim of this unified tag team title thing. But also, I think there's just nothing else for them to. There's nothing else. I mean, there's nothing else for them to do. I mean, like, yeah, they could win the tag team titles again, but it's I don't know. It just kind of feels like, I guess, because so many people were calling for Montez to go solo, and so many people still feel like that's a thing that should happen, and so therefore, it just them staying together as a tag team just seems like there's just kind of nothing happening. And then when they formed this new group with Bobby, like I said before, that they needed to win something, preferably a tag team title, and since there wasn't one to win, they just didn't win anything, and it just kind of stagnated. And it's just, um, yeah. I mean, they're just kind of there,
Yeah.
But I don't think that Dawkins is. I mean, I don't think that Montez is holding them back. I mean, now I think Montez is. I think him not being so eager to branch out away from Dawkins, I think that's holding his own career back. But I mean, at this point, he's got to be willing to do that. I mean, if he doesn't want to break up with Dawkins, if he's out of loyalty or whatever, then at this point, I'm done worrying about it. It's his life and his career. If there's a singles run for him there, but he doesn't want to take it, then that's his choice. I'm not stressing over it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, here we go. This is it. The main event, all main events. It's take 2 of Roman versus Cody. Obviously, stipulation we determined by night 1's main event. We discussed earlier. Roman's a champion. He's been champion for now 1,300 and what now?
A lot.
10
A
days,
lot of
some
time.
shit.
A lot of time.
I guess my main. This comes down to 2 things for me with Roman in terms of when they take the belt off of him. Because I remember last year it was saying at this time last year, once time off, and he still won the match against Cody.
Well, I had him winning last year. I did not
Right,
think.
and I'm glad it happened for the record. I'm glad because I thought that swerve was great. I think people getting shot by that is what you want. I thought Cody being inserted as the winner last year was way too fucking obvious.
And plus, there wasn't any substance to their.
No, there was no build to it because Cody came back from injury at Royal Rumble, won the Rumble. Okay, really cool. Okay, whatever. And then you had the match already. That's it.
And there was zero substance to the program they were doing last year, so it made no sense for Cody to win.
Right. The second thing I want to know, because obviously Roman wanted time off, whatever, and even probably bigger for me is this: Roman's in range to pass Hogan's record, 4-year, 1-month reign as champion. Okay, he's in range.
Yeah.
At this rate, he'll have to go to September to beat the record. So he has 2 more hurdles left. It's Wrestlemania and then SummerSlam, 2 massive hurdles. And I wonder how big a priority this is for the company for Roman to pass Hogan, because once they start mentioning the amount of time he's had the belt, and then they threw in Hogan's name, and if you mention Hogan's name about this reign, clearly you do prioritize to some degree because you keep mentioning it.
Right.
So my question now is this: how big a priority is it for Roman to pass Hogan before they say, okay, now it's not the belt? Or is it a bigger priority to start mentioning Cody's next guy now? Because is there a risk now that Cody loses again a year later, same spot, and now, okay, now what? And people say, well, they did it with The Rock and Austin, but that was different though. Because The Rock had the title going into both matches, the first 2.
Okay.
And lost it. That's different.
Yes. Depends on how they do it, right? If they find a way if they put a new spin on it, like if Rollins were to turn on him here and cost him the match, that puts a whole new spin on it.
Is it The Rock being involved ready to spin as is?
Well, but if Seth and Cody win on night 1 and the Bloodline can't get involved, then and see that's where Seth turning on him would make sense, because again, if the Bloodline's not involved, then that means somebody is going to interfere on Roman's behalf who is not in the Bloodline. Because somebody is going to interfere in that match on Roman's behalf. It's on night 2. All right? Somebody is. So now it all depends. So it just like it depends on what the plans are going forward. Because like if they're doing Roman versus The Rock next year at WrestleMania at 41, then obviously something has to happen to cause them to have a rift. But you have to time that so that it happens around January, right? You won't. I mean, because if they start beefing with each other in May of this year, then you got a whole year to sit on that or whatever, right? So it just depends on their plans, right? I mean, because as long as Cody doesn't lose the exact same way, like if Solo spikes him and Roman pins him again, then yeah, that's bad. Okay, if Roman beats him clean, that's bad.
It's bad. I agree.
But if they put a new spin on it and someone else interferes, someone who Seth Rollins interferes, turns on Cody, but that puts another spin on it because again you give Cody another enemy again, and it just so it just depends on what their plans are really going forward.
Yeah.
And that's really all it is, because put it this way, I think you can prolong Cody winning, and you absolutely can do that. You don't have to do it here. It's just if you're not going to do it here, how are you going to get out of it? How are you going to have him lose? And then what are the plans going forward? And
I asked you guys this question last year too. Also, when we did this the first time with Cody and Roman, and I kept saying that the WrestleMania platform is where legends are born. Does Cody need to win the title? Not just win the title against Roman, but does it have to be? Because I feel like it has to be on the WrestleMania platform. Because if you establish Cody as the next guy, all the next guys we've had started their iconic ascents on the stage.
Well,
outside Hogan, but that's different because WrestleMania didn't exist when he won '84.
Okay.
Well, outside
that doesn't
Danielson
exist.
Didn't win. Danielson didn't win the first time at WrestleMania.
Brock Lesnar won a SummerSlam.
Right, but true, but I would say that era was a little more murky because it's different times, and Rock was going away, and Austin was already gone for a while. That's more desperation. But Cena won his first title at WrestleMania. Savage, WrestleMania. You name it. All these. Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania. Bret Hart, didn't win WrestleMania, but when he beat Yokozuna the year after, losing to Yokozuna because of the Hogan bullshit, WrestleMania. Everything has been topped off at WrestleMania, and then you go from there. WrestleMania.
Cody's gonna win. We know Cody's gonna win.
Oh, you're there.
We're trying to play games. We're trying to play games here. We don't need to play games.
So the Hogan streak don't matter.
That never mattered.
Okay.
Cody's gonna win.
Well, I'll say
Cody's gonna win.
The Hogan thing, we brought that up.
Yeah, it never mattered to the company.
They didn't
but they're acknowledging it now.
Yeah, because we talked about it. Why not? They acknowledge it. They acknowledge ratings too when they don't give a damn about ratings. So, but it's Cody's gonna win. We know Cody's gonna win.
So part of me wants Roman to lose just because of the Hogan streak.
What? You want to protect Hulk Hogan?
I'm a Hogan's disciple, bro. You know that. You know me.
This is silly.
Listen, I'm not, dude. I am not protecting Terry Bollea.
No, I get that part. I'm not even talking about that.
The same reason I didn't want Gunther to beat past Honky, because I love Honky.
Nothing is gonna stop Hogan's legacy. Nobody cares about that. But it doesn't make business sense. Roman's tired, man. He's tired.
I also feel like Roman's
tired.
And I feel like in this feud too, Roman's been the third wheel almost.
Well, you have to do that because you have to show us what's possible after. What's life after Roman look like?
Well, The Rock is The Rock is just that big that he enters the equation, and all of a sudden it's about The Rock now.
He's the only person that could do it. Nobody else could have done it. You know what I mean? Nobody else who's healthy could have done it. So now take The Rock out, and I say no, Cody's not winning. You needed The Rock in order to get us to life after Roman.
Cody winning feels a little too obvious now, but not in the same way it did last year. It feels obvious in a way that
he wasn't going to win last year. I knew that wasn't going to happen.
No, but I was telling you that we both saying that we did the people last year on the show. We said that it sounds weird. It's this way. The closer we got to the show, it's like that sounds too obvious.
But remember what I said though. You don't reward bad behavior. You
Right.
want to leave? You want to break thrones? You want to be
Bev-
a big shot over at that little rinky-dink company?
But you
down
also,
there with the
but you
money
also
mark?
said too also that people weren't ready for that whole All-American flag shit last
Yeah.
year too. Also,
It was true.
it still,
It was
it still
true.
applies. It still applies now.
Yeah, I don't think Cody's going to hold the belt for long. I don't think Cody walks in a WrestleMania champion.
Next year, you mean?
No.
And if he does, he's going to lose to Punk. You know what I
Doesn't-
mean? But I don't think he walks in WrestleMania next year
No,
champion.
Cody can win his belt and then lose to SummerSlam, or lose
Yeah.
it somewhere between there and
Yeah.
build him again.
I don't think Cody is not somebody who should be carrying that belt for a long period of time. The chase is where the money's at with him.
Because he's a sympathetic babyface, and
Yeah.
the sympathetic babyface gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
The-
Yeah, he wanted to
and
be Sting. Remember when
and
they
Sting
get-
after Flair, when Sting was champion and business tanked because nobody cares about Sting being champion. They just wanted to see him chase.
And
You
they
know?
and they because and that's the thing. Well, and that's look, that's another reason to put it off though with Cody, because as soon as he wins, he's on the clock basically.
But you gotta
yeah,
do it. You gotta pull the
people
trigger.
people are so obsessed with the and Robbie, you mentioned this before also on the podcast last week. People are obsessed with this is do this now just because we want to see this. Okay, then what?
Yeah,
People
then
don't
what?
want to then what?
Destroy
What stories
him.
we tell after that beyond that?
Destroy him is what?
But
Cody
the
Rhodes, I love the fact you're getting your ass kicked every week. I love it. I love to see you get whipped. I love the fact that The Rock's calling you boy. I love it.
Mama
I told you before, Cody, this is what happens when you step out of line. So every whooping that you're getting is the whooping your daddy should have done a long time ago. I love it.
And I think this Rock comeback, this in the last few months, has probably reaffirmed that he is a Mount Rushmore WWE guy, because
absolutely.
the impact.
Yeah, I'd move
Because,
Austin off of the Mount Rushmore and put Rock there.
You can't
Get
put
Austin out.
You can't Austin there.
Get
You can't
Austin
Austin
out
there.
of there.
You can't. No, you
Get
can't do
Austin
that.
out of there.
No, that's stupid. That's a dumb
He
take.
was there
dude.
for 2 minutes. He was there for 2 minutes. Get
Right,
him out of
right. But however,
there. Overrated joke. Get him out
he
of
is
here.
arguably still
Get him out of here.
the biggest and most popular superstar, even in 2024.
It's a joke.
No.
Roman Reigns was able to deliver over $9 billion. Okay? That's the company got sold off of Roman Reigns' back. Don't talk to me about Stone Cold Steve Austin. Get him out of here.
I disagree with you 100% on that one.
Get him
dude.
out of here.
And I
You put
understand
Roman
the
on the
link.
Mount Rushmore. You put Hogan. You put The Rock, and maybe you put John Cena. Everybody else, get to the back of the line.
You agree with that, Duke? I'm Rob.
Depends on how
Of
far
course he
back
does.
we're going. No, it depends. It depends on how far back we're going.
Of course he
Okay.
does. He agrees.
No, because if we're going back all the way to the beginning, then Bruno should be on there.
Let's go. It's Vince Jr. Let's do Vince Jr.
All right, Vince Jr. Okay, Vince Jr. time. Okay, Vince Jr. time. Hogan, obviously. Cena, because Cena was on top for over a decade.
Roman, $9 billion. You can't touch it.
Okay, well,
according to Beach Report, he's on number 13.
Right.
We don't talk
So-
about Mark nonsense.
We don't talk about that shit though.
Okay,
Tomorrow's podcast though, right, Rob?
Okay.
This is too highbrow, too top
Exactly.
shelf for that. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So basically, you got 2 spots for 3 people. You got 2 spots.
Roman
for-
Reigns. Say
you
the
got-
name.
All right, man, you go. Let me finish. You got 2 spots for Roman, Rock, and Austin. So which one are you taking out?
Roman Reigns.
All right,
Roman, Rock, and Austin.
you got those 3 fighting over 2 spots on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, it's Austin. Austin is guaranteed of the 3.
No, he's not. No,
And he
he's not.
battled out Roman.
Overrated.
I'll give it to Rock for now because Rock is longevity, of course, in and out. But when he
Rock
comes
has
back,
done it in so many different eras.
And that's it. So Roman's not there yet. Then Roman's out.
How could Roman be out $9 billion?
Because I said so.
No one drew more than him.
Well, here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. But the thing with Rock and Austin is we don't get to Rock if Austin doesn't succeed. So
That's
not true.
Thank you.
That's
No.
not true.
Wait, it's not
That's
true.
not true.
Rock
That's
is
not
credited
true.
Austin in that. Rock. I'm not saying Rock didn't do his own thing, but the momentum Austin gravitated from '96 going into '98.
yes,
Rock came behind that, and it was off the awesome momentum because the same credit we give Hogan for that business changes Austin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then you don't get Austin without Bret Hart. So you gonna put Bret Hart on now?
No,
too?
Bret Hart put him over.
See?
Yes,
No.
but the
It's
same way
got to
that,
be even. It's got to be even.
I mean,
See?
look,
The Rock
look,
did it
I'm
in
not,
different eras, bro. You got to look at the years that The Rock kept
and that's why
coming
he's there.
back
It's
and
Rock,
being on top.
Austin, Hogan,
You know?
and take off Cena then. Take Cena off then.
Austin, Roman Reigns got to be on there, bro.
Take Cena off then. I don't give a shit.
Cena, I think Rob brings up a good point about Cena. Cena did it for longer than all of them.
Yeah.
He did it for longer than
The
all
thing
of
is, though, this is why I'm not knocking Cena and Roman here because I didn't watch a lot of their early runs in real time.
Oh, you're disqualified anyway.
No. Right, but this is what I will say. You got a point there. Here's what I will say about that, though. The company has started shifting at that point to where it no longer was about the one guy around the company. It ended up being around the brands.
No,
Vince
not Roman's era. Not
Zim-
Roman's era. It's
that
been
shifted.
about Roman, bro.
It was a SmackDown brand. It was 2 titles.
Stop.
Like
No, it's been about
WWF
Roman, bro.
from 1984 to 1992, the WWF was built around Hulk Hogan, whether they had a belt or not. Didn't matter.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
You can't say
the
that
same
the
thing
company's
applied.
not built around Roman Reigns.
The
bro.
same thing
can't say
applied to
that.
Stone Cold Steve Austin as well too, between 1996 and 2001, 2002. One guy, the company. One guy, the company.
Roman
You
Reigns.
know, Roman is the guy here, but you have 2 belts, 2 world title belts that they view as equal. Okay, 2 brands.
Do we really view them as
we
equal?
don't, but I mean they
Bro,
the world
Roman
title
Reigns
belts.
has generated more money than all those other names combined. You got to stop it right
But
now.
but
bro.
off the backs
gotta
that all
stop.
these guys have brought to the forefront. We don't get where we are with with Hogan starting the build, and then when the company went to shit for 5 years or 4 years, Austin brought it back. That doesn't even exist if Austin didn't do what he did in the late 90s. Let's be real here now.
Okay, so he can have.
You
the
get credit for
number 5
building
spot.
something.
He gets the number 5
You
spot.
you
It's
can
okay.
you can argue Austin put fucking WCW out of business. Outside of stupidity, of course, but
Listen, don't disrespect Roman Reigns, bro. $9
I'm
billion.
not. I love Roman.
Nobody
I love
else can
Raymond.
say that.
Acknowledge him. Acknowledge him.
Look, no, this era right now, because there's been
It's
a lot
hard.
of revision. There's been a lot of revisionist history over the past year. Okay, because there have been people giving credit to Cody that he don't deserve, and there are people giving credit to Triple H that he don't deserve. This era did last since 2020. This has been Roman Reigns and the Bloodline story turned the company around.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
they were on a downward plateau. They were not about to go out of business.
It was stale though. They'd be
But
stale.
they were on a downward. They were on a downward. The entire business was on a downward slope. All right. And Roman Reigns and the Bloodline turned the business around, and I'm gonna throw some of my little numbers research into here. The most important crucial period of these last 4 years was that run up to WrestleMania 38,
Mhm.
because that's when the turnaround became permanent.
Yep. Roman Reigns.
That's when it became permanent, when they were, and even though they're doing Roman and Brock again, you look at the numbers that were going on through that stretch. That is when the company turnaround became permanent. Well, not permanent as in forever, but that's when they got locked in. All right. Everything since Cody came back and Hunter took over, all of that is building off of those 3 or 4 months that led up to WrestleMania 38. That is what solidified everything. Okay, that is the foundation. That is,
So, are you arguing Roman Reigns should be on the Mount Rushmore at this point? I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that I'm making an argument for Austin first and foremost. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, don't let me down, Rob. Don't let me down.
Well,
let him down. He needs to be humbled a little bit.
Okay. Well, all right. I'll put it like this.
Don't let me down, Rob.
Give me Mount Rushmore now. Hogan, yes, right? Definitely, right?
Okay.
Hogan, without question, right?
Hogan, yes. I'd say Cena, yes. And all right. Well, here's the thing. All right. So Austin actually turned the company around. Magic and Bird turned the NBA around.
And I feel like those that should be
I think
acknowledged.
Austin is Magic and Bird. Okay. Rock is Michael Jordan. Right. Michael Jordan built off of what Magic and Bird started. and he took it to a whole nother height. But he doesn't
Just
have
say
the
Roman
space.
Reigns, man. What's going on right now? Just say Roman Reigns. What are you doing?
Cause
I would fast take out Cena and put in Roman Reigns anyway. To be honest, quite as capped.
maybe. All right, well, you know what? Then all right, let me. Rock, Austin, Hogan, and Roman Reigns.
And you're gonna have Mark sitting there saying, "Well, Hogan's old and this and that, bad matches." You have to be there. Okay, first off, you're young, you're a punk, you're Mark. Shut the fuck up. Okay,
Look,
Hulk Hogan was almost as big as celebrities in the '80s. He was on level with Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy. Shut the fuck up. Trust me on that.
Listen,
and also,
that's your clip to sell this episode, by the way. That
And-
clip right there, that's the one.
yeah, and and
That's
look,
the
bad
one.
matches is subjective because I think Matt and Nick Jackson have nothing but bad matches. So
Yeah, I don't even watch them, so I couldn't even tell you because I don't even watch them.
Rob can't stand Young Bucks, dude.
Yeah,
they are everything they are everything that I dislike about modern.
My problem, well, to Rob's point, my problem with the Young Bucks is it has nothing to do with the matches. They are exciting to watch, but they don't sell. They don't make you believe what they're doing. So, as someone as an old school guy who loves the storytelling aspect of it, like if you're getting hit, like how are you kicking out of one or two off a pile driver, for example? That's bullshit.
they take a dump on the business every time they step.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm old school.
They do it on purpose. They want to poke.
That's not wrestling.
At the business. So yeah,
that's not wrestling.
About those guys.
So I would fast put Roman in there before I put Cena at this point.
And I'm thinking that also because for a lot of the time Cena was on top, things were kind of stagnating there. So I mean,
Cena kind of got the baton from Rock and Austin. He didn't take it to shit, obviously, but it didn't really do.
Well,
it didn't pick up either.
Well, y'all can't say that. The business, they never had a down year when Cena was on top. You could argue that Cena actually started the shift of consistent year-over-year increases.
But
on their
can I argue that the reason why I put Austin there is because you get more credit for helping save a fucking business? Because that's what he did. Austin literally saved that company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he did it. But he only did it for a couple of years. So you got
no injuries aside, but
you got to admit that it was only a couple of years, bro.
Well, because of injuries, of course. Yeah, we get that.
Yeah, but it was only a couple of years.
So Roman, so while Roman
is
on this run, I'm working against you though. So while Roman has been with this company now 12 years on the main roster, 12 years.
Yeah.
The Roman run where he gets these accolades, and now it's only 4.
4 or 5, okay.
Because before 2020, Roman people were
that's still more than Austin.
Roman, like, oh, he's forcing on a throw and this and that.
But that's more than Austin.
No, Austin got 4 or 5 years also too.
Well, no, Austin
he got 96, 97, 98, missed a chunk of 99, came out 2000, 2001, got the what movement.
Austin himself will tell you that his run was only about 3 years.
His peak run, yes, but he was still around for a couple of years after that.
But you ain't giving Roman credit for his 12, 13 years. You only giving him 4.
But again, the crowd didn't want Roman for the first 7, 8 years. And they're idiots on the record to put that. I'm not saying it's right.
He was a top merchandise seller. The business was booming. What crowd?
There was a section. The incel folks didn't want him. Okay,
right.
Let's get clear. Okay, there was a section of the fan base that did not want him, and those
adults didn't want him, but the kids loved him and the women loved him. So it is what it is.
Oh, the good-looking dude, like long hair. But the role he's in now is a bad guy. Vince, this is where Vince fucked up. He tried to do the Cena thing twice with Roman. No, and you said this on your podcast years ago, Duke. Yep. He's been a bad guy a long time ago, dude. He's a fucking good-looking guy, gorgeous wife. You're cocky as fuck. Play into that.
And he's actually like that in real life.
Yes.
This is the worst part about it. This is who he is. You know?
John Cena works as a face because that's really who he is. He really is a good guy, a really good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, all I care about is this. I'm bound for Austin, obviously, but Hogan is lock, stock, and barrel on Mount Rushmore. Anybody that could be anybody that could be a top face in the company, both times, it should be in discussion.
Yeah. Hogan is a guarantee. Everybody else is debatable. Although Roman Reigns drew more money than all of them. So
in this era, it's with inflation and all that stuff.
It's easier. No. The company sold for over $9 billion, bro. You can't top that. You have to give it to him, and you can't even say, "Well, he was the champion just at that time." No, He's been on a run.
All built off the back of Hulkamania. That started first.
How much was the company valued at? You got to remember that. It was a $3 billion company. That was their market.
No. Again, Roman's going to
the fact that they sold for $9 million, you got to give Roman his props.
Roman's gonna his flowers, like I said, but I guess all of this shit was built off the back of Hulkamania. Because no one watched wrestling before 1984.
Listen, Hulk Hogan ain't coming through the door, man. Stop it. All right, he ain't coming. Can't even walk.
Look, he's still a racist prick, but you know.
Well, yeah, that too.
But that's Terry. That's Terry.
Yeah, that's Terry.
So anyway, back to the match. I'm still gonna go Roman. Just cause.
Fair enough. I stick with Cody. I think Cody's gonna win it and then lose it soon enough.
I think if Cody wins, though, Austin makes an appearance.
That's okay.
Fucks up.
I think. All right. I said so because I said.
Well, I said Bloodline wins the match, right? I just said that.
Well,
I said Bloodline.
Before, yeah.
So then Cody's winning it because that will open up the stipulation for the Bloodline to be there, which means someone else on Cody's side will probably be there to help him out, which would be awesome.
There is, yeah.
Fuck up Rock. Go ahead, Rob. What are you gonna say?
All right, I'm saying Roman because I picked Cody and Seth to win night one, and Seth turns on Cody in the main event during the main event, screws him.
And you said Cody as well, Duke, right?
That's right.
So, because I think Seth Rollins, the character, is he's an insecure weasel, and who always, and who always, he's a pick me basically, and he did that promo where he was begging Cody to pick him for an opponent, and Cody did not pick him, and so if we're going to be consistent with Seth Rollins, the character, that would make him, he's insecure and jealous and all that stuff, and that pissed him off.
He likes to wear his wife's clothes, which is always interesting. So there's that too.
I mean,
it's interesting.
Very interesting, right? Before we go, I want to ask you guys this before we get out of here. And this is the top of the head. Give me your personal, not the best, this is your personal Mount Rushmore WrestleMania matches. Your personal favorites, the top 4, if you can think of it off the top of your head.
All right, Hogan, Andre, Steamboat, in Savage.
It's a Mania 3 off the rip. Half the list.
Yep.
Mania 3.
Yep.
Wow, love
Definitely
it. Definitely
going with those two. Danielson, when he won the championship, the S thing. What was that?
Was that 29 or 30, Rob?
30.
Yeah, I'm in 30.
Okay. So what is that? 3?
That's 3. Yeah.
Okay. Sasha and Bianca.
Amazing. That's 4.
Couple years ago. That's 4.
That's it. That's 4. You're done. That's 4.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Good job.
I love it.
And very diverse too. Old school and then newer. Rob, what you got?
Okay, Mount Rushmore. I'm saying these are most significant matches.
Well, your personal favorites doesn't matter.
Rob, don't change the rules.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I thought you said.
What is your personal Mount Rushmore? Like the 4 matches I've had to pick 4 matches out of shoot. Like my favorite matches of WrestleMania history. It has to be the best ones. Is ones that.
Favorite.
Yeah.
Hogan Andre.
Hogan Andre too. There you go.
Because man, look, that is a master class in storytelling, and they got 93,000 people on their feet for a body slam after 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that, Tony Khan?
Okay, I mean you can't beat that storytelling. That's one. All right, personal favorites. I'm trying to think of ones that I go back and rewatch the most. Goldberg and Brock from 33.
You do? Is that any good?
From 33? Yeah, that's one of the best. That may be the best sub 5-minute match ever.
They
I gotta watch it again.
They
I gotta
barely
watch
touched each other, and then they both left the company after. But
no, not that one. Not that one.
Sorry.
That's 20. That was a 20.
Yeah, got it.
That was terrible.
Yeah, not that one. Yeah,
I thought, look, Rob, I don't know. I can't trust what you say anymore, man.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
God, dude, what's wrong with you, man?
Woo, I'm on him.
All right, so Hogan, Andre, Goldberg, and Brock from WrestleMania 33.
Okay, okay.
Not WrestleMania 20. Good grief.
Good grief.
Kofi and Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
Yep.
And fourth one, I need four.
You're not putting Savage Steamboat in there? Are you kidding?
I grew up watching the NWA. I saw those matches all the time. It wasn't anything. You
Well,
know,
that's in mind for the record. So
I mean,
half my list is Savage. To be honest with you, so you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna shock you with my other one though.
and I haven't watched it in a while, but probably the TLC 2 match with Edge and Christian and the Dudleys and the Hardys.
I watched
I
that
knew you'd
recently.
like that
I
flippy
watched
crap.
that recently for last week, like for the first time in years. Car crash, but great match. Wait a minute, time. Obviously, I said Savage Steamboat, obviously at 3. Savage and Warrior at 7.
Wow.
Savage carried that. Here's my Warrior take. I warned you guys about.
Oh,
Because he's terrible. I hate the Ultimate Warrior. Hate him then. I hate him even more now. Should be known in hindsight. But he has 2 really classic WrestleMania matches. Not because of him. Him and the Hogan match, like the Hogan Andre match and the Hogan Warrior match, in a way, the storytelling wise, was perfection, actually.
Yeah, they're similar matches.
Yeah. Which is why when people say Hogan sucks, what the fuck are you talking about? Watch the matches. Watch the storytelling.
No one says that. You keep making this claim.
No, people say Hogan sucks.
Oh, no. People say that all the time.
People say Hogan sucks.
I don't hear that. Y'all need to find a better group of people to talk to. I don't know what you
So Savage Warrior is the other one. I want to go. I would mention newer ones, but I don't watch those all the time. I watch the old ones a lot more. So I'm gonna go HBK and Razor from 10. We just did a watch along, you and I, Rob, on that one.
Yes.
Amazing match. The fourth one. Watch the most. The Rockers in the Twin Tower. No joking. No joking. Embarrassing. I know. Damn. Oh, fucking! I'm an idiot. Brett and Austin in 013. Top 5 match all time. Period.
You don't have Hulk Hogan on your list?
No, I don't. But Hogan Andre is right below that.
All this Hogan talking.
I'm saying what I watch all the time.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm first of all, number 1 of all time is Randy Savage. Number 1. Start there. Number 2 is Hogan.
You've been kissing Hogan's ass this whole time, and
because
have the audacity not
because Hogan gets a lot of fucking flack because of the shit he did for himself. Because he's an idiot. We got to make people realize, look, he's a bad guy ultimately, but he's still an icon in this business. Hogan Andre's in that conversation though too, because Hogan Andre I do watch very often. Again, storytelling. Hogan carried Andre that match. Hogan carried Warrior.
You can't have a list without Hogan Andre on it. That's
top 5.
Literally,
that's number 5. Number 5 then. Okay.
All right.
So, but Brett and Austin,
you're gonna suplex CJ as well. We ain't playing this.
Well, Brett and Austin though I watch is that one of my top 5 favorite matches of all time. Period. For me, 13. Period matches. So that incredible match. So yeah, guys, go ahead. Last thing we get out of here because go ahead, Rob.
Oh, no, because I'll stop because I was going because I can keep going.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
We're gonna say.
If we're gonna pick 4 most like important WrestleMania matches,
Hogan Andre number 1. Period. And
say Hogan Andre, Brett and Austin, because that was the match that launched Austin, the submission match.
Austin Rock.
Was it
number two? Number two.
Well, but was it important because they were already at the peak then? I mean, it's this Roman Brock match, the last one. Just with everything I said about it, the run up to that match is what solidified the turnaround of the company, and that it was about that match.
And I'll say Sasha Bianca too. Also be the 4th one.
But is it? I mean, important?
For the females.
Sure it is. What do you mean?
Because while the triple threat from 35 between Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky was probably big was the first, what was better? Having the 2 black women do it and main event it and do it to perfection.
Which one's more important though?
I would argue the second one. People shit on the Becky match.
Yeah, that was
people shit all the time. People shit on it.
But I've said before, you reverse engineer all the progress in the division and Ronda coming to the company. So,
see, you don't open up a can of worms now. You know he don't play by his Ronda now. See?
Who's that?
Rob.
Oh, that's not true.
Ronda.
No, I'm just
messed up now.
No, I know
Okay.
that is not remotely close to being true. I correct people who say false things. Okay, I will correct.
Oh, do you? Dude, EJ, when you hear back the way that I destroyed this man on his lies, on his
Wow, it was
lies,
Stop it.
bold-faced lies,
Oh, here we
I
go.
quoted Tony Khan talking about who was put in danger. CM Punk said that they tried to he said, I'll kill you to Jack Perry. And this man over here, Rob the genius himself, gonna sit here and act like he didn't lie about it. You lied. That's it.
Uh-oh.
You lied. You're a genius. So if you didn't lie, that means you don't know. And your geniuses, they know. So you lied, bro. That's what happened.
I'm just glad we went 2 hours not talking politics. Well, I'm not glad about that, but because of WrestleMania focus here. But next time we get together, we'll talk more politics as we get closer to the election year. We got a lot to talk about that one. Save it for last time. Don't say anything, Rob. Duke, don't say anything now.
I'm not.
Save it for the next episode.
Yep.
Fellas, great job as always. Duke, plug away with a plug.
Duke Loves Wrestling at Gmail. Duke Loves Wrestling on Twitter, on Facebook. Check out the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast. Great Hall of Famers, kids breaking into the business and everything in between. The amount of stars that you're going to hear on the show in the next couple of weeks going to blow you away. Just had Devon Dudley. It ain't stopping. I even got hillbillies. I got hillbillies calling me a bottom feeder and Jerry Springer and all kind of stuff. So what happened? Did you hear that? Bobby Fulton cussed me out. So, and his son was out there abusing him on top of it. Then his son was out there abusing him on top of it. So look, it all goes down to Duke Loves Wrestling podcast, folks. You're going to get the facts for sure.
All right. Before I get to Rob, I got one thing with you real quick, Duke, before we get out of here. But of course, Many Bones. When I come back on the podcast? It's been a couple of years.
Has it been a couple of years?
Since November 2021.
Oh, damn. All right. We got to get you in, man.
Get your mind right, bro.
You're right.
Get your mind right.
Listen, you always got me on your show. I figured you'd
be
sick of me.
And? I'm trying to get you more on the show, and you're like, no, it's too much. Give me some space, bro.
See, Rob, I spoiled you, Rob, and now this man, he's getting jealous of you. See? That's what happened.
I got a Wrestling Retro podcast, too, I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you on the other episodes to do with me. You're like, too much.
Here we go. You're trying to overexpose me, brother. You're killing the business. You're killing the business.
Good God.
Jesus.
Okay, Roman. Okay. I acknowledge you. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay. As always, every week you can hear me, DJ and Jason, on the Mindless Wrestling podcast. And you can hear me every couple of weeks on the Rob the Genius podcast. And Duke has been ducking me, having me on his show. I haven't been on there in a while. So.
Well, 2 weeks?
You're
3
one
weeks?
of my most
3 weeks for you? At least been on there in the last month, bro. I've been here 3 fucking years. I've been this since started the Biden presidency. What are you talking about?
You know what? I'll bring you both on at the same time, and we'll really have a party. All right?
Oh, my God.
All right.
I will say retro. I will say this, though, Duke. I know how interested about this stuff, but Retro Wrestling Talk gets a lot of views on YouTube. A lot. I pull clips from the show talking about old school stuff. Like there's a clip I pulled from one of the shows from from my other podcast talking about Ultimate Warrior, for example, with me, Rob, and DJ, and I got over 1,000 views.
Oh, solid.
Yeah,
solid.
For example, so they get a lot of attention from people on the internet. So just saying that. So
solid.
We can lean into that a little more if we want to. But fellas, good job as always, man. Enjoy WrestleMania 40. Enjoy night 2, Rob.
Thank you.
Don't freeze your ass off. It's gonna be cold there too. So.
Oh boy.
Right.
Yeah, but of course you used that shit though. So whatever. I mean, I live in South Florida, so I don't know what that stuff is. That's foreign to me. Good job, man.
Bye.